Mr. Carter, are you ready?
Yes.
All right, thank you. This is docket 2496FH, People of the State of Michigan versus Nathan Wayne Carper. Counsel, your appearances for the record.
Morning, Your Honor. Randall Berman on behalf of the people.
May it please the court, David B. Carter Jr. on behalf of Mr. Carper, who is present standing at the podium.
Thank you. Mr. Carper, please raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to provide will be the truth, whole truth, and nothing but the truth under penalty of perjury?
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you. Put your hand down. Sir, have you taken any medication yesterday or today?
No, Your Honor.
Are you supposed to be on medication you're not on?
No, Your Honor.
Any sign of fever, COVID, or other illness?
No, Your Honor.
Have you had enough time to speak with Mr. Carter?
Yes.
Okay, and I understand this has been set for trial, but you've decided after consulting with your attorney that this is going to be a no contest plea, is that correct?
Correct.
And you made this decision of your own free will?
Yes, Your Honor.
And you understand that once you plead, there's no more jury trial?
Yes, Your Honor.
You also understand that you will, as you had a bench trial and jury trial, you have an automatic right of appeal. But now by choosing to plead, if you want to appeal, you first have to ask permission of the Court of Appeals to appeal. You understand all that?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. And they don't have any commitment to take it. They're only going to take up your issues if they think your issues are important. Do you understand all that?
Yes, Your Honor.
And you've talked about all these issues with your attorney. I know you've met countless times. I don't need to know what you've talked about, but you made this decision after you talked with him. Yes?
Yes.
And no one forced, threatened, or coerced you, is that correct?
Correct.
No one promised you anything other than the plea agreement I'll hear about?
Just everything that's in the agreement, yes.
Okay, but nothing else that's causing you to choose to plead?
No, Your Honor.
And you've been satisfied with the representation of your attorney?
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you. And do you still reside at this Chapel Hill Street? If you were not incarcerated, would you reside there? Is that your home?
Yes,
All right. And are you a US citizen?
yes, Your Honor.
What you are pleading to, were you on probation, parole, or bond conditions on another file before another judge?
Yes, Your Honor.
And you were? Will this plea result in a violation?
A while back when we were at a bond hearing,
Mhm.
you told me I could do a writ, and I did, and they responded.
Okay,
And they unsuccessfully discharged me.
so that was taken care of.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, so that was the only pending thing.
Yes.
And the reason I ask is because you are entitled to know about all the ramifications of your plea, and another action against you based on this plea and another file is something we need to talk about. So you're all clear on all your files?
I believe I am, yes. Yes. Mr. Milks, when he was with me, he showed me that the hold was lifted
Okay,
and everything.
you would agree with that, Mr.
Yeah, I believe that his resolving all pending cases that could or would result in a bond violation have been resolved prior to today.
Thank you. On behalf of the people, what is the plea agreement?
Thank you, Your Honor. In exchange for a successful no contest plea to count 2, which is assault with intent to commit sexual penetration, which is a 10-year maximum as an habitual offender third, making it a 20-year max. The people have agreed to dismiss count 1. Further, there is an agreement with regard to the defendant's sentence, and that is pursuant to the plea agreement, the defendant shall serve no further upfront jail at the time of the plea. People agree to a personal recognizance bond today. There are agreed conditions, that being no contact with the victim, Tricia Jones. Defendant will be equipped with a GPS tether with victim notification. Defendant agrees to serve a term of 5 years of probation. There is SORA registration he must comply with, and that the no contact with Tricia Jones will continue throughout the term of probation of 5 years. And I defer to Mr. Carter as to the necessary requirements for the no contest plea.
Civil
Right.
liability.
And I know civil liability, that makes sense. I know he's been in jail for quite a long time. Do you know approximately how much, how many days?
I think like 695, somewhere around there.
And the victim was consulted, is that correct?
She has been, yes, Your Honor.
Okay, and the other issue with the GPS with victim notification, that means she needs to give her address or addresses to them in order for that to occur. And sometimes we can't pursue the GPS with victim notification because that's not followed through with. So as long as it's followed through with, that's what I'll order. I just want to be clear.
Yes, Your Honor. Victim is here and has been consulted, and we actually discussed this very issue earlier this morning about giving the necessary information to the teller company.
Okay, thank you. Is that full, fair, accurate, and complete?
It is, Your Honor.
Full, fair, accurate, and complete?
Yes, Your Honor.
And you offend that with the habitual third, that doubles the possible sentence? From the 10-year, it makes it a 20-year?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Do you also understand that if I violate the agreement you've all made at the time of sentencing, then I would allow you to withdraw your plea, and this would go back to the pretrial stage. However, if you violate the law or bond conditions, which would include the no contact order, I don't have to agree to this, and I can sentence you to jail or prison. I guess at this point it would be prison because you've already served the max jail time. If you violate, do you understand that? And so I don't have to follow the agreement if you violate the law or bond conditions.
Yes, Your Honor.
And counsel, I'm sorry, did you waive reading count one?
We do.
All right, thank you. And this is the reading of count two.
Thank you, Your Honor. People of the state of Michigan v. Nathan Wayne Carver, State of Michigan, County of Ingham. In the name of the people of the state of Michigan, the prosecuting attorney for this county appears before the court and informs the court that on the date and at the location described below, the defendant did in count two, on or about January 5, 2024, at 310 West Bellevue Street, City of Lansing, Ingham County, Michigan, did assault another person to wit, Trisha, T-R-I-S-H-A, Jones, with the intent to commit sexual conduct involving sexual penetration, contrary to Michigan law. SORA notice, this is a tier 3 offense under the Sex Offender Registration Act, also known as SORA. HIV/STD testing notice. Take notice that pursuant to statute, upon bind over to circuit court or recorder's court, the district court judge shall order the defendant to be tested for venereal disease, hepatitis B infection, and for the presence of HIV or an antibody to HIV. If the judge determines there is reason to believe the violation involves sexual penetration or exposure to bodily fluid of the defendant. If the district judge determines that testing is not required upon conviction, the court must order the defendant to be tested. This is a felony, 10 years with mandatory AIDS/STD testing, DNA to be taken upon arrest. Habitual offender third notice. Take notice the defendant was twice previously convicted of a felony or an attempt to commit a felony. In that on or about 4/25/2023, he was convicted of the offense of OWI, third offense, in violation of MCL 257.62560 in the 43rd Circuit Court for Cass County, State of Michigan, and on or about 4/25/2023, he was convicted of the offense of assault with a dangerous weapon in violation of MCL 750.82 in the 43rd Circuit Court for Cass County, State of Michigan. Therefore, the defendant is subject to penalties provided by statute, twice the maximum sentence on primary offense or a lesser term. The maximum penalty cannot be less than the maximum term for a first conviction. The court shall order law enforcement to collect DNA identification profile sample before sentencing or disposition if not taken at the time of arrest and done against the peace and dignity of the state of Michigan.
Sir, did you understand what was just read?
Yes, Your Honor.
So you understand count two, criminal sexual penetration, criminal sexual conduct, assault with intent to commit sexual penetration is a felony normally punishable by 10 years. However, because of the habitual third, it doubles to 20 years. You understand that?
Yes, Your Honor.
And it looks like you signed the appellate rights.
The advisory rights.
I'm sorry, the advice of rights, sorry. The advice of rights form.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, you'll get your appellate rights again, sorry. The advice of rights form, did you read it before you signed it?
No, I didn't.
Did you need some time to go over it with your attorney? Would you like me to go over it?
I trust him.
We
Well,
went over
We need to make
it,
sure that you understand your rights.
Okay,
we went over it several different times, just
Okay.
not this morning.
Okay, so you are clear that you have an understanding of all of your rights and you signed it.
yes, Your Honor.
And you've previously gone over this, so you know what it contains. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Any questions you might have had about your rights? Mr. Carter was able to answer those.
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you have any questions about your rights of this court?
No, Your Honor.
Sir, as to count 2, criminal sexual penetration, criminal sexual conduct, assault with intent to commit sexual penetration on or about January 5th, 2024, how do you plead?
Guilty.
Not guilty. You plead no contest.
No contest.
So we're striking the guilty,
Thank you.
and it will be a no contest plea based on civil liability.
Correct.
You agree with that, sir?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Court would accept that as an appropriate plea based on civil liability. And sir, you understand that you're waiving your right to a trial. You're also waiving your right to a presumption of innocence. You are waiving your right to cross-examine any witnesses and evidence brought by the people or request witnesses in your defense or to present evidence. And if you chose to do those things at trial, they would be subject to cross-examination. You're also waiving your right to silence at trial, or the right to choose to testify at trial. And if you chose to testify, you'd be cross-examined. You understand you're waiving that whole process.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. And you understand after this day, you can't come back and tell me somehow you were forced, threatened, or coerced into pleading, because you told me earlier, you're doing this of your own free will, correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Has anyone, other than the plea agreement we've all talked about, has anyone told you what else I will do at sentencing?
Has anyone told me?
What else I will do at sentencing besides what you've all agreed to?
No one's told me any different.
Good, it's not a trick question.
All right.
Okay, and that's the right answer, because I don't know much about your case. I know some things, but not much. When I'm fully informed, then I'll make up my mind about what happens. Do you understand that?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. By stipulation of counsel, I'm in receipt of the Leslie Police Department case report number 24528000013. The date of the report was on or about January 5th, 2024. And that is also the date of the offense. And it occurred approximately 2 a.m. on that date at a specific location known as 310 West Bellevue Street in Leslie, Michigan. County of Ingham, State of Michigan. Officers were dispatched to that location for a criminal sexual assault conduct complaint. The caller was Trisha Jones, and she stated she was sexually assaulted by Nathan Carper and that he was still on scene. Officers approached the residence of 310 West Bellevue Street and observed a male wearing a gray t-shirt and jeans standing outside the residence, flagging the officer down. The officer made contact with the male, who was identified as Nathan Carper, and they noted that Mr. Carper's jeans were unzipped and that he did not have a jacket on. They made contact with Trisha Jones, the victim, inside of her residence, and she advised them that she was in a dating relationship with Nathan Carper for approximately 2.5 weeks, but advised that they broke up around Thanksgiving of 2023. She stated she reached out to Nathan today to see him and to possibly give him another chance. She stated that when he got there approximately 2000 hours on January 4th, 2024, they argued for a little while, but they made up. They ate food, watched television, cuddled on the couch. At some point, they decided to go to bed, and she advised officers that she took off all her clothes except her underwear. She advised that they talked about having intercourse with each other, but advised that she made it clear that he did not want to have intercourse, that she did not want to type on there. It should say that she did not want to have intercourse with him unless he wore a condom due to the fact that he had been with other girls. He ignored her request and threw her on the bed. He pulled her underwear off, got on top of her, and then pinned her arms over her head. He then penetrated her vagina with his penis. She attempted to get away from him, but he used his forearms to hold her arms down to the bed. She stated that she was yelling at him to stop and told him multiple times that she wanted him to get off of her. He ignored her commands and continued to hold her down. She eventually got Nathan off of her by thrashing around and stated that she was going to call 911. She was able to get her cell phone and call 911. And then he began gathering his belongings and left the residence. Photographs were taken of Trisha's right arm, left arm, bedroom, and Nathan's face. On behalf of council, is there stipulation as to the habitual offense notice that there were prior offenses committed? The first being on or about April 25th, 2023, was convicted of operating on intoxicated third offense in violation of the statute in the 43rd Circuit Court for Cass County, state of Michigan, and then on or about April 25th, 2023, he was convicted of the offense of assault with a dangerous weapon in violation of the statute, also in the 43rd Circuit Court for Cass County. Therefore, this third offense notice is appropriate, and it doubles the offense from a 10-year to a 20-year. So stipulated?
Yes, Your Honor.
Yes, Your Honor.
Any additional questions or information either of you would like from the police report?
I think we have it covered as far as I'm concerned, Your Honor. Thank you.
Nothing from the defense.
And are counsel aware of promises, threats, or inducements other than those already placed on record?
No, Your Honor.
Has court complied with the court rule?
It has, Your Honor.
I believe it has.
And you, either one of you are free to take the police report if you'd like, otherwise I'll keep it, it's up to you. And, I find no contest plea, as I said earlier, to be appropriate. I also find no contest plea was freely, voluntarily, knowingly, and understandingly made without undue influence, threats, coercion, or promises of leniency. I also find, based on the stipulation of counsel, as well as the information that's contained in the police report, which is very lengthy, and although it indicates pictures were taken, they're not attached. It's sufficient grounds to meet statutory requirements and for me to accept defendant's plea. Therefore, count 2 will enter with habitual third. Count 1 is hereby dismissed. Any outstanding warrants related to this file are also recalled and dismissed. There will be a DNA taken unless it's already on file, and there will also be AIDS STD testing. Unless that was done after this case, but I don't think it was while he was in lockup.
Yeah, I don't.
I don't think I did. All right. Do we have a sentencing date?
January 28th at 11 a.m.
Your Honor, I'll be in a 2-week trial in Clinton County.
Okay. Do we have a February date?
I'll be in front of you on the 4th,
Okay, February 4th, what time are you from?
10.
Great. February 4th at 10:30.
Sorry, under 10:30?
Yes, does that work for your schedule?
Yes.
Okay. Sure, we're going to give you a sheet and you will need to, within 24 hours, contact probation and keep an appointment for your pre-sentence investigation report, and you'll have to keep checking it with pretrial services, however they want you to, and I'm gonna do the other bond conditions in just a moment. Do you understand all that?
Yes, ma'am.
If you fail to meet with probation, I have a standing order that you'll be rearrested, and they take their time from the jail, and you'll sit there until we get to sentencing, and I get that pre-sentence investigation report, because we cannot proceed without it. Do you understand that?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, thank you. So who lives with you at this Chapel Hill Street address?
It would be my mother, Kim Rodriguez.
Okay.
My little brother, Rodolfo Rodriguez III, and my stepfather, Rodolfo Rodriguez.
And they still lie in the house?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. And where are you employed generally? What kind of work do you do?
I work in the RV industry, which is in Goshen, Indiana, at Forest River. However, I don't know if I would be allowed to go to Indiana on tether. So I don't know if they would.
Well, let me ask you this. Do you drive? How does it work?
I do drive, Your Honor.
You drive back and forth?
Yes, Your Honor.
So how far is it from, I don't know where Jones, Michigan is.
So it's like very close to Three Rivers, if you're
Okay, yeah.
familiar there. So it takes me from that address to get to Goshen about 30 minutes, 30-minute
So it's
drive.
right by the border there.
Yes.
Okay. And how do you spell the name of that town? Or the name of your employer? What was your employer?
Forest River.
Forest River,
Yes, Your Honor.
Forest River RVs or what?
Yeah, RV.
And where's the location again?
It's in Goshen, Indiana.
G-O,
Goshen.
did you still have that job?
Yeah, I could use that once I'm released. Yeah, I'm in pretty good there. I've worked there for quite some time off and on.
Did you have a regular work schedule?
It depends on what plant I get sent to, but they work Monday through Friday, sometimes Saturdays. And they start around 5 a.m. And it's just by the job, however many units they're running a day. Sometimes it takes them 4 or 5 hours, sometimes it takes them 8 hours. It depends on what plant, what model I'm running.
Mister, I don't know your financial situation, but I suspect after being in jail for 600 days, you may not be in a good financial place. So there is an indigency telegram that you can apply for.
Okay.
So when you're back to work, maybe that'll shift, I don't know, but that should not be, money should not be a deterrence getting you out of jail. Okay, so you'll have to have a conversation over there. Okay. It's not what I do, but the jail's good at what they do. So. Are you on any regular medication?
No, Your Honor.
All right, council, let me know if I got everything. All right, defendant will have a $50,000 PR bond. He'll report to pretrial services as directed by pretrial services. He will be placed on a jail GPS tether with victim notification. He shall not use, possess, consume, purchase, or be in the presence of any illegal drugs, alcohol, or drug paraphernalia. You will show any prescriptions for medication from a licensed medical physician or pretrial services within 24 hours and take any psychotropic medication if it's prescribed and follow all doctor's recommendations. No marijuana, no alcohol. They may be legal, but not for you. Unless you have a prescription. You get cough syrup with alcohol, you give us a prescription, you're good. You get a prescription for marijuana, you're good. If you use it as prescribed. You will PBT and or drug test as requested by pretrial services, law enforcement, any court officer, any adult in your household, or your employer. You shall not own, have in your possession, or under your control any weapon or gun, ammunition, imitation of a weapon. You'll not be in the presence of anyone who has those items. End up at a friend's house for New Year's and they have alcohol, you do it about face and you leave. You find that you're at someone's house and they have a weapon, you do it about face and you leave. They may not be in trouble, but you will. You go right back to jail. And it violates your agreement. You will not be in the presence of any known gang members or wearing gang colors, insignia, or gang tattoos. You will maintain your residence with your mother at the Chapel Hill Street address, and any address change shall be reported to pretrial services, the court, and your attorney within 24 hours. You'll comply with SORA, the Sex Offenders Registration Act. You'll learn about it and comply with that, so you can't be at schools, playgrounds, basically anywhere where kids hang out. If you are with a minor child at any point, you need to be they need to be supervised by their guardian. And you'll have to talk to pretrial services about that. So if you have a holiday coming up with your family and there's minor children, their parent or guardian must be there. You need to let probation know that that's going to happen. Great. You'll appear for all hearings and proceedings. The next one is February 4th. at 10:30. You will have no contact with Tricia Jones, and you will not be within 2,000 feet of her residence or place of employment. You shall be allowed to work at Forest River RV in Goshen, Indiana, and travel back and forth upon giving pretrial services or work schedule as soon as you receive it. So when you receive it, take a picture, send it to them, or email it or fax it or whatever you want to do. Okay, so that way we keep track of you. And part of that is, so you understand, Indiana doesn't have to accept that you're working there. So we've got to deal with compacts between the states. So probation has to let them know, and they'll take care of their end. And you need to just make sure that if you're stopped by the cops for anything, they look it up. You know that you got permission and you've got whatever documentation, because otherwise they'll take you away. Okay, so it's really important that you comply with that and figure out what the rules are. Pretrial services, that's part of their job. You also have an excellent attorney, he knows the ropes. So if you have any questions, you need to ask those questions and be informed. Don't come back here and tell me you didn't know.
Familiar with the process.
Okay. Just making sure, because I hear a lot of excuses, so I go overboard at this point to tell you, so I can remind you if you come back in front of me. She keeps all my words.
Thank you.
All right. All right, any question about what I mean?
No.
No contact means no contact, she doesn't exist in your world, you end up with the same liars, you do the about face, you leave, you don't wiggle an ear, you don't raise an eyebrow. You don't say anything, you just leave.
Yes, Your Honor.
No Hallmark cards, no flowers, no smoke signals, no messages by carrier pigeon, don't get creative. Got it, message sent?
Yes.
Good. On behalf of the people, have I made myself clear, is there anything I missed?
I don't think you missed anything on that, Your Honor. I just want to make, my notes are a little unclear now that I'm thinking about going back quickly, that you did indicate that there is tier 3 SOAR registration requirement. That has to be explained by the court, not just me, and then have the court accept
I
it.
think yes, but we talked a couple times about it, so Suri understands that you will have to register and comply with SORA,
Yes.
and you will become familiar with all of the regulations that includes registering your address and all the rules.
Vehicle and-
including treatment, all of that.
Yeah.
And is tier 3, is that lifetime or is that 25 years?
Believe it is.
Lifetime. So you'll have to do that for the rest of your life, to understand.
Yes, Your Honor.
And I don't know if you plan on moving to Indiana at some point, but let me just also tell you that you'll have to, in every state that you're in, you'll also have to learn their rules. We've had very weird cases here where people have moved from other states here, and we had different rules on SORA than that other state, and they ended up getting charged here for not familiarizing themselves here. So wherever you go now, you, whatever state to state, figure out the rules. Okay, and you'll do that for the rest of your life. And you plan knowing that, correct? We talked about it with your attorney. And that was all read by the people,
Yes, Your Honor.
and you're fully informed. Do you have any questions about it?
No, Your Honor.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Anything I missed in regard to, or
No,
anything you think you can't do here, sir?
No.
Not my neatest writing job, but I think it's legible. Make sure y'all get copies,
thank you.
okay? That's all for this one.